الحمد لله نحمده ونستعينه ونستغفره ونؤمن به ونتوكل عليه ونعوذ بالله من شرور أنفسنا ومن سيئات أعمالنا من يهده الله فلا مضل له ومن يضلل فلا هادي له ونشهد أن لا إله إلا الله ونشهد أن محمدا عبده ورسوله أرسله الله بالحق بشيرا ونذيرا بين يدي الساعة فإن خير الحديث كتاب الله وخير السنن سنن محمد صلى الله عليه وسلم وشر الأمور محدثاتها وكل محدثة بدعة وكل بدعة ضلالة وكل ضلالة في النار. أما بعد فقال الله سبحانه وتعالى في كتاب الله العظيم أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم ادع إلى سبيل ربك بالحكمة والموعظة الحسنة وجادلهم بالتي هي أحسن. صدق الله العظيم. وقال رسول الله صلى الله عليه وسلم بلغوا عني ولو آية أو كما قال عليه الصلاة والسلام. My dear brothers and sisters in Islam, my topic of khutbah today is Dawah, conveying the message of Islam. Importance of conveying the message of Islam, or importance of Dawah. This is a very important responsibility which is always highlighted in Quran through various terminologies. Because of limitations of time, I'm not going to mention all the terminologies mentioned about this responsibility in Quran. I would like to mention only 4 terminologies which highlights this responsibility. Also, these 4 terminologies, different terminologies are used in order to say the methodology, in order to convey the methodology of conveying the message of Islam. Methodology of Dawah. There are various methods of Dawah, and these methods are highlighted in each terminology. One terminology is Dawah, or conveying or inviting people towards Islam. Allah Ta'ala says, "Ud'u ila sabili rabbika bil hikmah wal maw'izati al hasanah wajadilhum billati hiya ahsan." You invite people towards the path of your Lord bil hikmah, with wisdom, and maw'izati al hasanah, and beautiful admonition, wajadilhum billati hiya ahsan, and arrange a dialogue and discussion with them in a beautiful manner. Here you can see the word Dawah is used. Dawah means inviting people through various means, giving invitation to them, come and listen and see and understand this message. This kind of invitation has to be given. How it has to be given, this is also clarified. It has to be given with wisdom. And what is wisdom? Wisdom varies according to the circumstances, according to the situation, and according to, based upon the addressees to whom you are addressing, and the situations and so backgrounds and so many other things, wisdom changes. You as an intelligent human being, a person who has responsibility, knows what should be the wisdom utilized for this occasion or these circumstances or in this situation or in a particular society. So various kinds of wisdom can be used to convey the message and invite people towards the way of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And also when you are advising people, when we are giving admonition, it should be beautiful. Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, whenever he used to send his people to convey the message of Islam, he used to give them a beautiful advice. He used to tell them, Bashiru wa la tunafir, Yassiru wa la tunafir, wa la tu'assir. It means, Bashiru means give glad tidings. When you can convey the message, give so many glad tidings. What are the good things in it? What are the benefits in it? Wala tunafiru, do not create hatred. When you are giving message, let them not hate you. Let them not think that this is a burden or this is a compulsion given to them. Let them understand it. Let them feel that it is something, a good message or a glad tidings given to them. Yassiru, and when you are presenting, present it as a beautiful, practicable, simple religion, a simple way of life. And وَلَا تُعَسِّرُوا. Do not introduce it in such a way that people may think that it's a very difficult one. It is not practicable, and we cannot implement in our life. We cannot practice it in our life. This kind of message you did not have to give. When you present Islam or present your message, present it in a beautiful way and give glad tidings to people. Do not create hatred in them, and present it in a beautiful way that people think that it's an easy and practicable message to be followed, and do not present it in a way people may think that it's a very difficult thing to be practiced. So this is the method you have to use. So when you are giving admonition, it should be beautiful. Also when you conduct dialogues or discussion with people, the intention is to convince them. Intention is to convey the message. Intention is to make them feel that this is a really a beautiful message and this should be applicable to me. This is the method of, or this is the objective of making discussions or conducting discussions or dialogues. The objective of conducting discussion and dialogue should not be to defeat the opponents. You may be able to defeat the opponents because your message is strong. You have so many bases to provide, you have so many evidences to provide to confirm that your message is a message of truth. In spite of that, your objective should not be to defeat your opponent, but in order to convince them, to make them understand and let them feel that it's a beautiful message. So here the word invitation or dawah is used. This is one of the methodologies. You can invite them through various means beautifully and by using wisdom. This is one of the methodology you can use to convey this message. Another terminology used in Quran is shahadat al-nas, or witnessing unto mankind. What is witnessing unto mankind? Allah Ta'ala says, وَكَذَلِكَ جَعَلْنَاكُمْ أُمَّةً وَسَطًا. And thus we have created you as a moderate community, as an intermediary community. Muslims are moderate people. They are not extremists. They don't have any kinds of extremism in whatsoever, in whatever aspect of their life. Their thinking, their practice, they don't have any kind of extremism. They are moderate community. Islam is a moderate religion. And we have made you a moderate community. And what is your responsibility? وَكَذَلِكَ جَعَلْنَاكُمْ أُمَّةً وَسَطًا لِتَكُونُوا شُهَدَاءَ عَلَى النَّاسِ وَيَكُونَ الرَّسُولُ عَلَيْكُمْ شَهِيدًا. So that let you witness towards humanity. Witness unto mankind is your responsibility. As Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wa sallam witnessed the truth for you. Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, how he witnessed the truth, how he conveyed this message? Through his practice, through his actions, through becoming a role model. Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wa sallam always, when he was presenting the message, he used to say, فَقَدْ لَبِسْتُ فِيكُمْ عُمْرًا مِنْ قَبْلِي. I have lived amongst you for 40 years before becoming prophet. You know every aspect of your life, my life. People used to call him as-sadiq and amin. He is the most honest person, he is a truthful person. So that's how even before becoming a prophet, Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wa sallam presented a better ideal, a better personality in front of people. So as a Muslim, witnessing unto mankind means it's a great responsibility. You as an individual, you have so many responsibilities. And you have to earn your bread. You have to live with your family. You have to live in a society. And you have so many, you may be in a different professions. You could be an engineer, you could be a doctor, or you could be an accountant, and you could be whatever, a technician or whatever. So different areas of life are there for you. But in every area, in every aspect of your life, when you are talking, when you are dealing with people, when you are walking in the street, when you are making transactions in shops, in every aspect of your life, you are presenting a role model. You are presenting a brand that I am a Muslim. And when you present this brand, you are conveying the message. And people are influenced by you. And this is what is called witnessing unto mankind. Or shahadat ala nas. This is a great responsibility. When you understand this responsibility, you will be a different person. And community, Muslim community will be a different person. Muslim community will be an ideal Muslim community. But unfortunately, you can see what kind of models we are presenting. See, Muslims are killing Muslims in Egypt. And Muslims are killing Muslims in Syria and so many other places. Quran says that if a person kills a Muslim, other Muslim intentionally, مُتَعَمِّدًا فَجَزَاؤُهُ جَهَنَّمْ خَالِدًا فِيهَا, he will permanently be in hellfire. A Muslim intentionally killed another Muslim. So this is and if you kill another Muslim intentionally, you will be in hellfire forever. This is the statement of Quran. In spite of that, you can see what kind of situations, what kind of society we have in different Muslim countries. So what kind of model you are presenting, what kind of ideal you are presenting. When you are a real Muslim, you have to present a better model, individually and as a society, then only you can influence others. It is very, very important. Even you can see in 13th century, highest number of Muslims today are in Far East countries. Those people embraced Islam in the 13th century. And who went there? It's not preachers. It's not rulers. Went to Indonesia, Malaysia, and these regions, Far East countries. People went for business, for trade. Some Muslims from Indian coast and from Arab countries, they went for business. And when they were doing business, they knew that they are Muslims. Because about business, Prophet Muhammad said, "At-tajiru saduqul ameen ma'an nabiyyin wa siddiqin wa shuhada." A businessman who is doing business with truthfulness and with honesty, then he will be amongst the prophets, and among the truthful people, and among the martyrs in the day of judgment. Who? Business people, those who are striving to make money and make profit, they will be among the martyrs and among the truthful people and among the prophets in the day of judgment, because they practice truthfulness. And you can see that those business people were that kind of business people, and that's why when they were doing business, they were presenting their brand. And because of that, people came to the fold of Islam, and today largest number of Muslims are living in that part of the world. This shows that how important it is to present your brand, your identity that I am a Muslim. Whatever you are doing, when you are traveling, your co-passengers should understand that this is a Muslim, a nice gentleman. When you are dealing with somebody in a market, people should understand that he is a Muslim and he is a nice man and he is practicing his principles. So this is what is called shahadat al-nas, witnessing unto mankind. This is a great responsibility. When Muslims understand this responsibility, there will be definitely big change happens individually in his life, and as a society also. When Muslims understand this, there will be big change in Muslim society. This is another terminology, shahadat al-nas. And the third terminology is tabligh or iblagh. Allah Tabaraka wa Ta'ala says, بلغ ما أنزل إليك من ربك وإن لم تفعل فما بلغت رسالته. Convey, O Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, what has been revealed to you. And if you are not conveying, you are not fulfilling the responsibility of prophethood. Wallahu yasimuka min an-nas, and Allah Tabaraka wa Ta'ala will protect you from evil of the people if you convey. And the word here is balligh. And today, most balligh means communicate. And today is the time when we are living, it is a time of communication revolution. A lot of people say that today, now it's a very bad age, very bad time we are living. A lot of evil things are there in society. If you want to see evil, if you want to practice evil, if you want to learn evil, of course this is a bad time, and there are a lot of evils and a lot of bad things in your society. But I would say that if you have a positive outlook, this age in which we are living is one of the best times. Because if you want to learn something, there are a lot of opportunities. So many medias. Abdul Qadir Jilani, when you hear about him, when you learn about him, you can understand that he traveled a very long distance, and his mother sent him to a very long distance for learning, to find his ustad, for find his teacher. Today, this is not the situation. Even without the teacher, you can learn so many things through internet, through our mobile telephones. If you want to read tafsir, you can buy a mobile telephone, smartphone, you can read a tafsir there. You can verify, you can check so many other things. Of course, there is importance of ustad even today. Teacher is very, very important. But teacher is not inevitable in today's life. You can see that you can learn so many things through internet, through mobile telephones, through various kinds of media. So many things are available. Meanwhile, there are efforts to distort the image of Islam. Every day there are more than 200 books written against Islam. Jillan Poston has produced so many cartoons against Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him. And people are producing films against Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. And to distort the image of Islam, every effort is done and every no leaf is left unturned. So this is people do every effort to distort the image of Islam. So that's why it's our responsibility to use all kinds of medium of communications. Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, he used the best medium of communications available in his lifetime. For example, during his lifetime, one of the medium was to climb in a mountain and to say Ya Sabaha, the calamity of the early morning, and people used to gather, then they used to convey the message. This was the relevant tradition of conveying the message and communication. That was the medium at that time. Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam used that media and he conveyed the message of life hereafter. That's why it is necessary that whatever means are available, TV, video, radio, and internet, YouTube, mobile telephones. Very recently, Zakir Naik, he brought a Peace Mobile. Its Android technology is used in order to, you can use Peace Mobile and you can learn so many things and meanwhile you can communicate. So these are the efforts to communicate your message. So Balligh means communicate your message. And if you are communicating, Wallahu ya'simuka minan nas, Allah tabarak wa ta'ala will protect you from evil of the people. When people produce a film against Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, or cartoon against produce cartoons against Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, there will be reactions. People protest against it, people do so many other things. That's an instantaneous reaction. You can do reactions, but reaction is not the only remedy. There should be response. Reaction is a very immediate reaction, whereas response is a thoughtful response. Thoughtful response means you produce better films, you produce better material in the internet, you produce so many other things in the internet and use the medium of communication and convey the message. Only then Allah Ta'ala will protect you from evils of the people. So this is the third terminology which says tabligh or ibligh means communication is very, very important to convey the message of Islam. And the fourth terminology is Amr bil Ma'ruf wa Nahi anil Munkar. Allah Ta'ala says, Kuntum khayra ummatin ukhrijat linnas. You are the best community, award for the mankind. The whole mankind, you should have a concern towards all mankind. If you see in the history of prophets, every prophet was very much concerned about the social problems. For example, during the time of Salih alayhi salatu wasalam, there was a social problem that people used to build big, big houses, whereas a lot of people were in a severe poverty. So he raised voice against. As a prophet, he raised voice against this atrocity and this disorder in society. And you can see during the time of Lut alayhi salatu wasalam, there were gays and lesbians at that time. And Lut alayhi salatu wasalam raised voice against that. Today, at the same time, you can see that gay rights and these same-sex marriages are becoming very popular. Every country is discussing these issues. And people are considered as a progressive people when they support same-sex marriages. This is the situation, this is the time where we are living. During the time of Lut alayhi salatu wasalam, this was common, and Lut alayhi salatu wasalam raised voice against it. And during the time of Shu'aib alayhi salatu wasalam, you can see people were making a lot of errors while weighing in scales. And this malpractice was very, very common. Shu'aib alayhi salatu wasalam, he raised voice against it. Musa alayhi salatu wasalam, what was his mission? His mission was to emancipate Bani Israel from the slavery of the Fir'aun. Slavery was common and he made Bani Israel his slaves. And he wanted to emancipate them from the slavery of Musa, from the slavery of Fir'aun. So that was a timely problem. Every relevant social issue is very relevant to Muslims. Every relevant social issue is very relevant for our dawah to convey the message. So today, we cannot be aloof from the society. Whatever problems are there in a society, we should be concerned about it. That's why he said, Kuntum khayra ummatin ukhrijat linnas. You are the best of the community and you care for the people and you are brought up for the people and you should have a great concern towards social problems. Ta'muruna bil ma'rufi wa tanhauna 'anil munkar, and you enjoin what is good and forbid what is evil. Or instructing people. When you want to instruct and enjoin, you should be in a position of authority. And without authority, you cannot enjoin people. As a Muslims, if you see the history of Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, he supplicated for giving an authority. رَبِّ ادْخِلْنِي مُدْخَلَ صِدْقٍ وَأَخْرِجْنِي مُخْرَجَ صِدْقٍ وَاجْعَلْ لِي مِن لَّدُنكَ سُلْطَانًا نَصِيرًا. When he was going out for Medina, he said, "O Allah Tabarak wa Ta'ala, take me out from the city of Makkah with truth, and make me enter into the city of Medina with truth. And from among yourself, as a support, give me an authority." Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam sought for an authority, and seeking for an authority, striving to get for an authority, and striving to get a position where you have more authority is part of dawah, is part of the responsibility of Muslims. So it is again very much important that you should convey your message with authority, and you should strive to get the position of authority. Only then you can enjoin good to the people, and forbidding people without authority is impossible. How can you forbid anybody from evils when you don't have authority? So it is very important that you should strive to get authority. This is also part of dawah. So you can understand that conveying the message is not just giving the books. Of course, giving books is also part of it. Or distributing literature, that's also part of it. But that's not the only thing you can do. So many aspects are there. I have mentioned 4 terminologies. It gives us 4 methodologies. There are so many other terminologies used in Quran. It shows that it's very important that we have to convey the message. And also you can see that for a big advantage for us, that the concept of Islam, take any concept of Islam, which is a universal concept. And you can convey this message without any hesitation. And take the major religions of any major religion of the world. Their message is very confined. They have a lot of limitations. For example, one of the major religions is Christianity. How they present the concept of God? They make a portrait of Jesus Christ. And if you see portrait of Jesus Christ in every country, it is different. Normally it looks like a Western person with blonde hairs and blue eyes, and if you see the portrait of Jesus Christ, it looks like a Western person, whereas he is born in Jerusalem, which is an Arab country. That's why you can see in African Jesus Christ, if you see the portrait of Jesus Christ, it looks like more like an African person, because it's not acceptable for an African person. He cannot accept a blonde-haired person, a Westerner, or a white-skinned person as God. So this is you can see the message itself is very confined, and they have so many limitations, and they have so many limitations by which they cannot convey this message as a universal message. Whereas in Islam, if you see the concept of God, the first verse of the first chapter, what it says? Alhamdulillahi Rabbil Alameen. Praise be to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, praise be to God, who is the Lord of the universe. And the last verse, the first verses of the last verse, An-Nas, what it says? قُلْ أَعُوذُ بِرَبِّ النَّاسِ مَلِكِ النَّاسِ إِلَهِ النَّاسِ. Say, O Allah, O Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, I seek refuge from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, who is Rabbin Nas, God of the people, Lord of the people, and He is King of the people, and He is deity of the people. You can see the universal concept. You can present this message to anyone. Then why you are hesitating? Your message is so beautiful, and your message is so universal, you can present it, and there are no limitations in it. And even if you see the concept, Quran for example, if you see so many other books, you cannot present it as a universal concept, a universal book. Whereas in Quran itself is a miracle. You will, for example, Quran can be memorized, it can be committed to memory. No other books, it's a very huge book. It's, with a lot of pages, and you will not find any books which is considered as a divine book, or any book written by people. You will not find a book which can be memorized. But Quran can be memorized, and it's a miracle of Quran. And there are thousands and thousands of people in every society who have memorized Quran. This is the miracle of Quran. Again, Quran says, if this Quran is from other than Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, لَوَجَدُوا فِيهِ اخْتِلَافًا كَثِيرًا. You would have found so many discrepancies in it. And Quran says that there is no discrepancy in it. And you will not find any discrepancy. Whereas so many other books, which is considered as a divine book, there are so وَلَوْ كُنْتَ مِنْ عِنْدِ غَيْرِ اللَّهِ لَوَجَدُوا فِيهِ اخْتِلَافًا كَثِيرًا. There is no no discrepancies in Quran. Had it been not from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, then you definitely would have found so many discrepancies in Quran. Whereas you can see so many other books which claim to be a divine book, you will find so many discrepancies. Again, Quran, how it introduces? It introduces itself, Ya ayyuhan nas, O people, قَدْ جَاءَتْكُمْ مَوْعِظَةٌ مِّن رَبِّكُمْ وَشِفَاءٌ لِمَا فِي الصُّدُورِ. There comes to you an admonition from your Lord, and it is a healing for the diseases which is there in your heart. So you can see that Quran presents itself in such a way that it is for the whole people. Again, the concept of prophet, for example, about Jesus Christ, what Bible says, he had been sent the last sheep of Israel. He has been sent only to Bani Israel, because Allah Ta'ala sends some of the prophets to particular community and some of the people to the larger population. Ibrahim alayhi salatu wasalam was sent to a very larger population. Isa alayhi salatu wasalam was sent only to Bani Israel. Whereas what is Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wasallam, Allah Ta'ala says, وَمَا أَرْسَلْنَاكَ إِلَّا كَافَّةً لِلنَّاسِ بَشِيرًا وَنَذِيرًا. We have sent Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wasallam to entire human beings, and his responsibility is to give glad tidings to you and to warn you from the consequences if you are not believing in Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So you can see the universal concept is there in Islam. There are no demerits. So without hesitation, you can convey the message of Islam. So what is more important is to have an urge, a commitment, an interest to convey this message. And this is the great Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. He had a great urge to convey this message. You can find it by various examples of Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. Once Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, he used to ask some people to read the Quran for him. Abdullah bin Mas'ud radiyallahu ta'ala, he was a beautiful reciter. Once he was asking Abdullah bin Mas'ud radiyallahu ta'ala to recite Quran for me, and he was reciting. When he came to the verse which says, فَكَيْفَ إِذَا جِئْنَا مِنْ كُلِّ أُمَّةٍ بِشَهِيدٍ وَجِئْنَا بِكَ عَلَىٰ هَؤُلَاءِ شَهِيدًا. Imagine the situation when witnesses are called from every community, and you, O Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, will be produced as a witness to testify that you have conveyed this message. When he was reading this verse, Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wa sallam said, stop. And when Abdullah bin Mas'ud radiyallahu ta'ala looked towards the face of Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, tears were rolling down in his cheeks. He was worried, he was concerned about his responsibility. That's why even in his last sermon, when he said, Isma'u qawli, listen to me, I may not be there next time for you to convey this message to a large gathering like this. In that gathering, Hajjatul Wida, or the last sermon of Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, he was conveying the message and he said, Allah al-Wallah, whether I have conveyed my message to you or not. Normally the answer of people used to say, Allah wa Rasuluhu a'lam. Allah knows and His Prophet knows. But this time, they did not answer this way. Large number of the people gave an answer which was spontaneous answer. They said, نَشْهَدُ أَنَّكَ قَدْ بَلَّغْتَ وَأَدَّيْتَ وَنَسَكْتَ. We testify that you have conveyed your message, you have fulfilled your responsibility, and you have conveyed your message to us. This was the answer. And Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wa sallam said, Allahumma shahad, O Allah tabarak wa ta'ala, you are the witness, I have conveyed this message. Then he said, فَلْيُبَلِّغِ الشَّاهِدِ الْغَائِبِ. Those who are present here, it is 125,000 people, largest gathering during the time of Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. He said, your responsibility to carry this message to the people who are not here, and to the generations who are not born yet. And you can see the graves of the Sahabis of Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wa sallam in every part of the world, in India, in Africa, in Europe, in Russia, everywhere prophets, Sahabas, companions went and conveyed the message. So you can see this urge was there, this compassion was there, this interest was there. Then only if you understand that this is my responsibility and I have to live like an ambassador of Islam. You have to become an ambassador of Islam. You are communicating this message in whatever is your profession, wherever you are, and whatever you are doing, you are representing Islam and you are presenting Islam. This is a big responsibility. When you understand this, definitely there will be a big change and there will be a reformation in your personality as well. A lot of people say that we have to reform Muslims, why we should convey a message to non-Muslims. How long we are going to convey a message to the Muslims? 10 years, 15 years, 20 years, 30 years, 100 years? It is an ever-ending job. Reformation is always there. And the best method to reform yourself, Muslim community, is to inculcate this responsibility of da'wah within yourself. May Allah Ta'ala give us tawfiq to understand this great responsibility and to fulfill our responsibilities with great commitment. Barakallahu lana wa lakum wa nafa'ani wa iyyakum bi ayatihi wa dhikril hakim. Innahu ta'ala jawwadun karimun malikun barrun rahufur rahim wa rabbun hakim. Alhamdulillah Rabbil Alameen. As-salatu was-salamu ala rasulih ameen wa ala alihi wa ashabihi tahirin amma ba'd. Faqala Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala fi kitabillahi al-azim. A'udhu billahi minash shaitanir rajim. Bismillahir rahmanir rahim. Inna Allaha wa malaikatahu yusalluna 'alan nabi. Ya ayyuhalladhina amanu sallu 'alayhi wa sallimu taslima. Allahumma salli ala sayyidina Muhammadin bi adadi man salla wa sallama.